Hello guys, good afternoon. My name is Mohammed Faisal, and in this very short presentation, I would like to introduce you guys with a very famous and awesome programming language called Python. We are not going to learn everything in this very short description of Python. We would like to tell you something about the Python, why it's useful, why we use it, and some data storage capability of Python. And also we will tell you how to write conditional statements like switch else, if, switch cases, if else, and loops in Python. And also we will tell you the basics regarding writing functions or method in Python. In this very short description, we are going to tell you the four important things in Python, that why it is so popular and what exactly Python does for us, and what are the purposes Python can be used for, and why Python, why not the other programming language that we know already. So we are going to deal with all these questions. So the Python is the most rapidly growing programming language in the community of informatics nowadays. The number of users in Python are increasing day by day, and it can be seen from this chart, which shows the queries asked on a very famous platform of the programming experts called Stack Overflow. There people asked questions regarding their problems in their programming issues. And as you can see, the graph regarding the Python is increasing very fast as compared to the other programming language with the passage of time, as you can see, which shows that people are asking more and more questions regarding Python. That's mean that a large number of communities using Python. As you can see, that with the passage of time, as compared to the other programming language, the growth of Python is amazing, and that is why Python has become so popular nowadays. And the reason is that it's not only being used by the software developers or coder, but it's being used by different walks of the life. For example, people in mathematics community are using Python a lot because of its simplicity, because of its ease of use. Python is the number one programming language for the mathematician nowadays. And people from data science, like this big data world, they are using Python also for doing their tasks. People from the life sciences groups, for example, people working on the DNA sequencing or some sort of bioinformatics regarding the plants, where they have to write some sort of coding to automate their tasks, they are using Python. And for example, people from the bookkeeping department or accountancy, they are also using Python, and they are a very a small number of groups, but it is being used by a large community from the different departments of the life. So as you can see, because of the simplicity that we will see later, Python is not being used by the software engineers or developer itself. It's being used by many other people, which does not have any kind of big programming experience before. And beside that, Python is especially used in the world of data analysis, in automation learning or machine learning, also to develop the web application, desktop application, also mobile application. And Python is also very popular to write the software tests. So this is also a very big field where people are using Python. And also automation, and especially automation is something where people are using Python a lot. For example, if you have to do a constantly boring, repetitive task or uploading your files on the server, you can use Python to do these things. Or if you are tired of working with the Excel spreadsheet and the PDFs, or copying some file, arranging the folder, downloading the data, and parsing it, you can do all these things by using the Python script, which will automate all these tasks in a very simple manner. So Python is being used not only in a very specialized world, as you can see here, but also in the task which is related to the people who are not the software engineers. So that makes Python a very, very useful and multi-purpose programming language. And as you have some sort of initial experience of programming in your uh, early semesters, you will ask, why Python? I can do all these tasks in the other programming language, like I can do this in JavaScript or in C or C sharp. Why I have to use Python for this? Why, or why people use Python? Why Python is so special to do all these things? So if you compare a very small program of writing a hello world program on your screen that is written in Python, C, and also Java, as you can see how simple it is to write the program in Java. For example, to print something on the screen, we just need to write one line of code in Python, as compared 5 lines in C, or maybe more than 8 lines in Java. So this is the power of Python, that to do a task, you have to write less lines or less number of codes. And as you write less number of code, the chances of getting error will also be less. Or if you have error, the chances of catching the error will be higher. So debugging will be very, very simple and easy in Python when you have less lines of code. And it will also make, when you have it very easy when you have less number of code. So people from different or um, big, beginning point, they can easily learn Python. And as Python has a large number of pre-built libraries, you can use Python for different kind of thing. For example, if you are working with signal processing in MATLAB, before, you can do the same task in Python. There are very, very special libraries available in Python. And the difference is that it's very simple and free. For MATLAB, you always have to pay the cost for the engine of the MATLAB, then the Simulink, and then you have to pay the amount for the each tool set you have uh, used. So that make it very, very costly. But nowadays, with the large number of pre-built libraries, you can do the same task in Python without paying anything. And as Python is being used many people, so it has a very, very big or massive community support. So if you are stuck somewhere, there will be a high chance that it will be answered in a couple of minutes on the forum if you post your question, because Python has a large community support. And it has a large ecosystem, as Python is being used by the different companies, groups, institutes, and many people have employed Python to automate their tasks. And the other thing is that Python is platform independent also. Um, that's mean that you can write your task in Windows and you can run it on Linux, or you can make it on Mac system and you can bring it to Windows and so on. So the platform independence is also very, very important. And it's a high level object oriented programming language. So you have all benefits of inheritance, encapsulation, and the other things what you get from the object-oriented programming language. So Python gives you a huge or enormous benefits in a very, very simple and easy manner. So that's why Python is really, and in a true sense, it's a multi-purpose programming language with a simple and very easy and beginner-friendly syntax. So now we will see how we can use Python by first introducing you guys with the data storage caps, our concepts in Python.